All right, here we go. FBG Bigga. Welcome to Vlad TV.
What's that word? Gang, since potty train. Well, talk to me.
Hey, man, we had a lot of FBG dudes up on here, man, so it's only right to get you here.
Yeah, it's only right, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first time here. I want to start in the very beginning. So, you grew up in the north side?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess your block is like 15 minutes from 63rd?
Yeah, no traffic, yeah.
Okay. Near the Gold Coast?
Yeah, we is the Gold Coast.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, what was Chicago like during that time?
Well, when the projects was up?
Yeah, man. However you want to describe it.
Shit, everything was different then. It was more like, you could say segregated. You know what I'm saying? People mind their business. What's going on in our neighborhood, stay in our neighborhood, and what's going on somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Going on somewhere else. Like, it was better then. You know, they took down the projects and put everybody elsewhere. So when shit like that happened, you know, you get what you got today. Whole lot of chaos.
Do you remember when the projects were actually taken down?
Yeah, last building was what, 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Well,
and I've heard a lot of things, you know. It seemed like when the projects were taken down, everyone kind of scattered around and it became kind of more chaotic because there was no structure anymore.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. And, you know, in your interviews, you said you jumped out the porch at around 10 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So what were you doing around that time?
Shit, you know, typical shit a 10-year-old doing, you feel me, when he first get a taste of the streets, fighting, you know what I'm saying, ding dong ditch, doing all the little crazy shit kids do at the time, not knowing what really, you know what I'm saying, going on the streets, but looking up to older guys, seeing what they doing, you know what I'm saying, seeing what you gonna do when you get to that age, or just, you know, seeing shit for what it's worth, testing the waters, you know what I'm saying, little shit like that.
Well, I remember on Camp Capone, you said that your whole family was involved in gangs growing up.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. So who exactly, you know, were your family affiliated with?
Oh, what gang?
Yeah.
Shit. All of them, you feel me? You can really say, you know, everybody got family members that's GD, Vice Lord, Stones, whatever. Ain't no particulars, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we all this, you feel me? You got people that's staying on the south side, they probably be Stones. People staying this way, they probably be BD. Like, it's different areas, you know what I'm saying? So whatever area you is, no matter what, you my family, but whatever gang you is, that's what gang you is. So that's really be anybody in shit, Chicago, any urban city, you know what I'm saying?
So did you grow up with your, you know, both parents or just your mom?
Nah, just my OG. My pops got killed when I was a shorty.
Oh, how old?
2.
2 years old?
For sure.
What was the situation around that?
Shit, you know, street shit, you know. Can't go into details about it. Like, shit, I was 2, shit. You know, street life got him.
I mean, knowing that you never actually met your dad, I mean, you were 2 years old, so you don't really remember. You know, because not everyone has their dad in their life, but usually they could reach out to their dad, they meet him, you know, they spend summers with him, but you've never actually met him at all because of that situation. How did that affect you?
Shit, I remember little shit like bits and pieces as a shorty, you know, 2 years old. You remember certain shit, I ain't gonna say like, yeah, I remember this, but you know, probably little shit like vivid shit, little vivid shit. Like, I was staying when it happened, so, you know. But yeah, you right for the most part. I ain't get to do all that, go to my daddy house and all that as a growing up, you know what I'm saying? But had my uncles, you know what I'm saying? People in the neighborhood as, you know, you clink on to or you look up to at times. My brothers and shit, my homies, you know. You look for anybody like to fill that void that's solid, and, you know what I'm saying? Your homies raise yourself type shit, you know?
But was there a certain level of like bitterness or anger? Because it's like your dad got taken away before you really got to meet him, before you really got to know him, before, you know, and you get into situations and you want to go to your dad for advice. Your uncles are cool, your friends are cool, but your dad is your dad. That's a spot that nobody could really fill.
Facts. Like, with shit like that, anybody that lost the pops know, like, yeah, you gonna have that. Damn, I can't ask him this, I can't do that. So it's like, yeah, you gonna have like feelings towards it, you feel me? But when you growing up, you learn to deal with that shit, like, you feel me? And just go with the punches, like, it is what it is. You can't trip over nothing you can't control. And you learn that at a, you know what I'm saying, young age where I'm from.
I mean, without going into any details, do you know exactly what happened and who was responsible and everything else like that?
Yeah, I know what happened.
Okay. Do you think that you kept that and that anger about who was responsible all these years, or do you feel like, well, in the streets things happen, everyone has a certain amount of blame to it, and it just is what it is?
Like, you in the streets, like you play by the street rules, so you can't really trip on that shit. Like, you can't hold a grudge to that shit for real. Like, that's what you live by. You feel me? So I feel like if you hold a grudge about something like that and you in the streets, it's like, what you in them for? You know what you signed up for. So it's like a bittersweet thing,
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, man. I lost my dad 5 years ago, but I got to, have 40-something years with him, so it was still tough. So I can't really imagine what you're going through.
Damn, 40 years with your pop, that's decent.
Yeah, he died at 80, 84 years old.
Oh, homies, he made it a long ass time.
Yeah, but he died from Parkinson's, so unfortunately I got to see the whole decline and,
That's that shit that
Malcolm X,
Muhammad Ali
so.
died for?
What's that?
That's that shit Muhammad Ali passed from, right?
Yeah, similar. Exactly. Yeah, his was a little different, but yeah, I mean, it's the same disease. It's tough. Okay, so you said at one point you went to boot camp.
Yeah,
How old were you when that happened?
21.
Okay, so that came later.
Yeah.
So as a kid, as a juvenile, were you getting arrested at all or not really?
Yeah, I was always getting like locked up for petty shit, gang fights, mob action, resisting arrest, assault on the police. Excuse me, shit. Just look, you know what I'm saying? Teenage shit,
Okay, so during that time, were you doing any amount of, a couple of months, or was it just in and out?
Hell nah. True that legend. I mean, I wouldn't even know. Around that time, OG come get you from the station, doing shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really start getting bumped to what? So I was like 20, 21. And
Okay, and
everything.
what was that situation about?
Shit, I had got a drug case and a gun case.
Okay. And what exactly were you charged with?
Well, manufacture to deliver, possession of a firearm. They ended up throwing the gun charge out, and they upgraded my possession to they dropped it to a simple delivery, do out the possession or some shit like that. That shit was some years ago.
Okay, so now you're going to jail for the first time, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was that situation like?
Shit. Experience you never forget. You know what I'm saying? Getting told, you know what I'm saying, what to do, when to do, how you know what I'm saying? You can't go home, can't eat what you want to eat. Like, that shit, it fuck with you. But, you adapt to your environment. You feel me? Roll with the punches,
Okay, but you're in Chicago when you got locked up, right?
Yeah.
So when they put you in boot camp, now you're along, kind of mixed in with people who, you don't get along with, who are sided with this type of gang, that type of gang, and it is what it is. Was that a situation you had to deal with once you got locked up?
For the most part, when I first got locked up, I ain't go straight to boot camp. I was in the county for 3 months, and I bonded out, you feel me? Then I fought the case for a little month. Actually, I bonded out a month later, caught another gun case, then bonded out again, then fought the cases, then turned myself in to do boot camp. And that's when I did the boot camp shit.
Okay. Why'd you feel at that time you needed to carry a gun?
It's the rack. You know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on. Yeah. Everybody you interview know what's going on.
Okay. I mean, I had to ask the question, though. So, I mean, up to that point, what do you think was the most violent thing that you had actually witnessed growing up?
Seeing people get killed and shit as a shorty. Motherfuckers dying in front of you and shit. That's like regular, you know what I'm saying, in my neighborhood.
Okay, how old were you when you saw that?
Probably 11, 12, 12 or some shit like that.
Huh.
I know I was younger than 10, though.
Okay. So here you are, you're 12 years old, you're not even a teenager yet, and you see someone get killed right in front of you. Is it someone that you actually knew?
Yeah, it's the neighborhood. Everybody know everybody.
Okay. What does that do? Because, a lot of times, if a rich kid saw something like that, they would go to therapy, their parents would take them out of school, they would have to, go through a process to try to get over it and deal with it. But in these types of situations, people just go on with their lives, but the damage is still there. What do you think happened to you after you saw that?
To be honest with you, like, talk about that shit with the guys, with your homies and shit, like, damn, you saw that shit? Like, that shit crazy. And then it's just, like, really, like, prepare you for the world. Like, you could die at any moment. Like, it really prepare you for this shit. No matter what, if you're going the straight arrow way or you going, negative way, like, seeing something like that change you and prepare you for whatever. Like, so that's all they really do. I ain't gonna sit here and say, like, yeah, traumatized, but I couldn't sleep at night or all type of shit. Everybody deal with shit different. Like, where I'm from, like, that shit, like, ask a motherfucker for a stick of gum or some shit.
I mean, it's regular, but it's not regular, especially for a 12-year-old. Do you think it made you a lot more paranoid after that?
I don't want to say that.
Okay.
That's toughen up shit.
Okay, so you linked up with FBG Duck around 2010, 2011?
Yeah.
And before then, you knew Billionaire Black and FBG Lil Jeff.
That's my cousin, yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah, Lil Jeff, yeah. My first cousin.
Okay. So what was that first meeting with Duck like?
We was at a party. Shit. We pulled up, they pulled up. See my cousin, what's up? What you want? You feel me? Regular, you know what I'm saying? Gang shit. His little brother, I know his little brother was with me all the time. So, and my cousin Lil Jeff was with them. So when we linked up, it was more so, damn, that's my little brother, that's my cousin. Oh, what's up? You feel me? Link up, we get to know each other. Then, when two real motherfuckers link up, you start, linking up without the people how you met. And that's what it was, And then we just, like, been around each other ever since.
Okay. And I remember on Cam Capone, you said you got 4 shootouts with Duck in 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah. You do your homework. You will watch all them interviews.
Oh, yeah, man. That's what I do. So up until that point, you get into 4 shootouts with Duck in 1 week. How many shootouts were you in before you met Duck?
Shit, I don't know. You don't really pay that shit no mind. Like, you don't count shit like that.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is 4 in 1 week seems like an abnormal number.
Shit be going on in the city.
Okay. Was these all situations that Duck was in, or both of you guys were in?
It's hard to say, to be honest with you, because shit just be happening. You gotta
Okay,
think about
I'm just saying that.
You gotta look at it like this. You can't really say what situation over which person if both of y'all in the streets, You can't do shit but defend yourself. You feel me?
Okay, but what I'm saying is if you start hanging with someone and suddenly there's way more violence that's occurring while you start hanging with someone, that might make you say, maybe this dude's a little too hot right now. I should back away.
But then again, being in Chicago, you could not hang with a motherfucker and still have all those situations. And don't even be in the mix. Shit just be happening. Mistaken identity, you feel me? Or just wrong place, wrong time. Or you probably stepped on a motherfucker's shoe. That's just how shit go now. Like, so that's why I say you can't really say who fault was it or is it because of him or is it because of me. Like, a lot of shit was going on around that time. Like, the rap was busting then, That's around the time y'all people started calling it Chirac. You feel me? Chicago was going down around them time. That's the beginning of the drill era. Like, it was different, way different. So you can't really say who was over. You got something going on, you in the streets, you never know where it come from. All you can do is defend yourself.
Or you could move.
Facts. But then at the time, you gotta think about this. Back then, motherfuckers stand with they OG, all type of shit. Like, motherfucker wasn't doing too much of, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker trying to do what they gonna do, think about tomorrow. Yeah, I be saying up and move, like, we got trust funds and millions of dollars. Let's go to Malibu or something. Nah, that ain't the case.
I mean, no, you don't have trust funds and millions of dollars, but if you're in a dangerous area, you could move to a whole different area and start your life over, get a job, and start over. You don't have to have millions of dollars. There's lots of areas, especially areas that aren't that expensive, unlike a Malibu. You could go to Atlanta, you could go to California somewhere, and essentially start your life over. And like I've always said, if you have issues with people, they'll never get on a plane to come get you. They'll drive somewhere, but they'll never actually book a plane ticket, get on a plane, go somewhere, try to figure out how to get a gun wherever they are, and then start the process of trying to get you. I've never actually heard of that. Every time I've interviewed someone, if they've gotten killed, it was always a crime of opportunity. It was always, so-and-so saw him there and they're 2 miles away, they get in a car and so forth. Like, we just lost Fulio recently. He was in Tampa. His beef was in Jacksonville. That's a drivable distance. You see what I'm saying?
You can't really say what the next person to do. You ain't them. You feel me? Look at the stuff with the mob. Motherfucker get killed anywhere. So you can't really, that's what you just said is opinionated because you never heard or you don't know, you feel me? It's people getting killed in California from Chicago. It's people getting killed in Atlanta from Chicago.
Not people that travel from Chicago to Atlanta. They may just run into each other. But I've never seen anyone get a plane ticket. Yeah, the mob is a little different, but then there's hundreds of millions of dollars that are, going through that operation.
But then
I've
they
never
say
heard
this
of someone
though.
catching a plane ticket to go get somebody. I've never heard that.
You gotta look at it like this then. You saying the mob, there's money going into that. So what's the difference in when they drop a RICO charge and put everybody together? That's what they started that for the mob. So they doing that to gang members or so-called gang members or people in the street niggas, whatever they call themselves. That's the same exact shit, minus all the money. So you can't really say, like I said, it's opinionated, gang.
Okay. Well, right around 2011, that's when the whole drill wave started to kick off.
Facts.
And you're 18 years old?
Yeah, around the time. Yeah.
Okay. What was that like? And, Chief Keef really set that off.
You could say that.
And, Chicago's always been a hip-hop city. You can go back to Twister, you can go back to Common, you can go back to Do or Die. There's always been prominent Chicago rappers, but this is different. This was like a whole spotlight over a whole bunch of people, over like a whole new genre of music in a way. What was that like to see that at Ground Zero?
That shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got Sosa going up. You got, you know what I'm saying, everybody going up. Then you got Bro and them going crazy at the time too, but he got the spotlight. So it was a time to be alive around that time. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. And right around that time, Odie Perry got killed. Did you know Odie at all?
No.
Did you know K.I. at all?
Yeah.
Okay. How close were you guys?
It's cool. We weren't the closest, but you know what I'm saying? We be around, kicked it, you feel me? Type shit. Same crib, you know what I'm saying? When I come through, she out there, you know what I'm saying? That's gang.
Did you know FBG Butter around this time?
He was in jail or some shit.
Okay. Now, K.I. had a very interesting reputation. People are saying that she killed 20 people. There was a whole lot of drama around her. They call her the female assassin and everything else like that. How did you feel about her in that whole situation? And have you ever heard of other females being like that?
Yeah. We had one for other females like that.
Really?
Yeah. The shorty from the low end, I can't think of her name, but Yeah, there's other motherfuckers like that. You just ain't gonna hear about them like, you feel me? Like, that got televised because they did a story on her, I guess. You feel me? But, well, glorified, whatever case may be. But it's females out here patching shit. You just don't hear about that shit.
Well, when she got killed, how did you feel?
It was fucked up. That's the motherfucker we fuck with. You feel me? That's gang. Like, how you supposed to feel? Motherfucker, you don't get killed. You don't just go about your day. You be fucked up about that shit like, damn. Feel me?
Okay, so by this time, you talked about how you did boot camp, but you ended up doing 4 years with the jail time altogether?
No, see, I did 3 months. Then I bonded out. Got locked up again. Bonded out. Fought the case. A few months later, I copped out for boot camp. You feel me? Got back locked up. I did 5 months in boot camp. Then, you know what I'm saying, you get out, do your parole time. Then I got locked back up again like a year later.
So was it 4 years when you add it all up?
Now, you get locked up, like, say you take a 4-piece, you feel me? 4 at 50. You mandatory got to do, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? The 2, you feel me? But I had boot camp behind it. So you go do the 4 months, 4 to 5 months. You got 6 months to complete it, but you go do that. You don't do the whole 2, you feel me? Unless you fuck up boot camp, then you go do the deuce, you feel me? And then you can still go do the deuce and don't want to take boot camp and do get programs, do boot camp. I mean, not boot camp, do good time and all that type of shit. So it's all about how you go about it when you up in there. You know what I'm saying? Put your mind on doing something to get out early. Some motherfuckers just do the time. It's all about really upon the person, what type of time they on. Or she on, whatever, whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what do you think was the worst experience you had locked up?
I ain't had no worse experience. Like, motherfucker be playing with me, bro. I got to fight for. I say, like, hearing experience, a dude raped an old man in the wheelchair in Stateville. Like, hearing that shit, that was fucked up. I was on the phone call. You know what I'm saying? When you at boot camp, you feel me? You don't want to pass out well, at the time, I don't know what they doing now. At the time, you pass the trays out. So you got to pass the trays out to the parole violators. And then after you do that, you pass the trays out, give them their cookies and shit, put them in their chuck or whatever. You get on the phone, make your phone call your peoples and shit. In the midst of me being on the phone, you hear the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, fighting for his life, whatever case may be. Getting through to the door, getting fucked up, getting whooped. Then you get to hearing them other noises, you feel me? You know what I'm saying, about extraterrestrial shit. I'm on the phone with my OG and my lady at the time. Hold on, if you put the phone down. What the fuck going on? One of the other boot campers running the pod I was at. Like, man, dude in there, you know what I'm saying, getting down on him. Then you get to hearing that shit like, damn, like, that ain't nothing you want to hear, you know? Then you getting down on the motherfucker that can't defend themselves, you know what I'm saying? That's coward shit, you know? But that's probably the worst thing, as in hearing, you feel me, like, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't cool, though.
Well, I remember I had Rico Reckless on my show a while back, and he talked about the Glock Dookie in jail. And you said you've actually seen that.
Yeah. You been in the county, you know what I'm saying, on them decks, Division 10, Division 1, that shit was like, on deck, but Division 10, Division 1, 9, you know what I'm saying, them little wild decks, like, you seen that shit. It ain't shit but like I can't think of the damn shampoo. Aloe vera bottle, you know what I'm saying, piss, shit, old milk, old fish juice from the wet packs, all type of shit, just different type of features they mix up and they let it sit. Old fruit, old hooch, and they let it sit. Then they probably put it in the window, let it boil, you feel me? Let it heat up, you feel me? They, you know what I'm saying? Hit you with the Glock Dookie. You know what I'm saying? A few rappers got hit with the Glock Dookie.
A few rappers?
Yeah.
Which rapper got hit with a Glock Dookie?
That ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't on that type of time, and then ain't nobody got hit with the Glock Dookie. But few motherfuckers on these platforms that got hit with the Glock Dookie, man. Ain't my, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't on that type of time.
Have you ever made a Glock Dookie?
Nah, I ain't even, hell nah. That's dirty shit.
I mean, yeah, when I heard it, I thought it was insane. I mean, in fact, when we put the video out, Joe Rogan, who has like the biggest podcast in America, actually ran. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah, he actually ran that on his show, and him and his co-host were just dying, laughing, watching it.
That shit. You see a lot of shit in Cook County, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If you ain't mentally, that shit'll break you.
Okay, outside of the Glock Dookie, what was the other craziest shit that you've seen in Cook County?
That Savage Life shit. Motherfucker spit a nigga ass and smacked on his ass and shit. Pause.
So you've actually seen that too?
Yeah, Division 10.
Okay, and to kind of, for people who are watching this who don't know what you're talking about, according to Rico Reckless, who originally talked about this, Savage Life is they knock a dude out, pull his pants down, and spit in his ass, because then that triggers.
You gotta say pause after that. That was crazy.
Well, that's what he said.
I'm just saying, you saying it. You gotta say pause after that.
All right, no Diddy.
Yeah, for sure.
No Diddy. Hey, but that's some gay shit, man. Listen, I don't know. I don't know how a straight man could pull another man's pants down and spit in his ass.
I'm just saying.
I just don't know.
I'm just saying. You did the motion and everything, gang. You got to say no Diddy. Pause to that, gang. Wow, that was diabolical right there.
Man, listen. I don't care how much I hate someone. I would not do that to somebody. I can just bring myself to do that. I would have to think of something else.
But the thing is, the people that made that shit up at the time, they took it as like it's a level under, like getting down on a person, like under raping a person. You feel me? That was the angle they was looking at that as. Like, I guess they ain't gonna take it that far, but they took it that far. Like, that shit ain't cool, gang. That's weirdo shit. But they was doing it on some funny shit, like when they was fighting and shit, one-on-one or something. And then say you, motherfucker, base you, and you get dizzy, you feel me? You right there stagnating, you feel me? And they hit you again, now you finna, you know what I'm saying, you get woozy leg. They get on some fatality, you know what I'm saying, some funny man shit, knock you out. And the dude who made it up, you feel me? He got on some, I got something new for y'all, and you know what I'm talking about? He did what he did, you know what I'm talking about? Type shit, and that just shit spread it through the county, and that's the thing you know, all them motherfuckers really was fighting drama, was really doing that shit. Fighting bodies, 6 robberies and shit. They got to just, they don't know if they going home, so they're gonna like, shit, I'm finna get wild. A little bit too wild. That shit diabolical though. Real shit. Freaky, man.
I mean, have you ever seen or heard dudes get raped in jail?
I just told you when I was in Stateville.
Well, I mean, that's that, but actual rape is what I'm saying.
That's what I said in Stateville. That happened in Stateville.
Aha, okay.
I told you I heard this. He raped dude in the wheelchair.
Oh, that was a rape. Oh.
Yeah, I was on the phone, that's what I'm telling you. When I say he got down, that's what that means. Like, you feel me?
Okay, my bad. You know, yeah, I thought it was just a beating. I didn't realize it was a rape.
He was beating, he beat the man up in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? He paralyzed. He beat the man ass, you feel me? Then, you know what I'm saying? Got down on him.
Yeah, I just interviewed Billy McFarland. I don't know, remember that whole Fire Festival fiasco that happened a few years back? It was that big, it was a big festival they were supposed to throw in the island of the Bahamas. Ja Rule was involved in it and ended up being just a total mess.
See, I know a little bit about it. I don't think I know exactly what you're talking about. I do my homework.
It was essentially a rich white kid who put that together, and then, you know, when it all fell apart, there was a bunch of fraud, he ends up going to prison over that. And he was saying that when he got there, one of the dudes, you know, there was another 25-year-old white kid that came in around the same time as him, and one of the dudes was like, "Hey man, give me $150 a week, you know, for protection, and you can move into my cell."
So he tried to extort him.
So the dude was like, "All right, cool." Gave him $150, and the dude's cell was right next to Billy's cell, and he said, you know, that night, that dude got raped. And he could hear him getting raped. And I guess that all the jail cells, they have like a button where like if you hear you could press a button. But his cellmate was like, nah, don't press that button. Because you press that button, everyone's going to know you pressed the button and you're going to be a snitch. And that's going to make your life here harder. And I guess the dude couldn't get to the button.
Make that make sense. He ain't not getting raped. And the motherfucker read about him being a snitch for him getting raped.
No. He didn't get raped. The dude next to him was getting raped.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The dude Billy was hearing the dude next door in the cell next door getting raped, but his cellmate told him not to press the button, to call the police, to call the guards.
Yeah.
Because if he was the one that pressed the button, everyone in the, on the tier would know that he snitched, and then he would become a snitch, and then they would try to get him. So the dude got raped.
Man, hell no. That ain't no motherfucking snitching, man.
Hey, man.
Because when I was in Stateville when that shit happened, they was yelling, CO, he ain't that getting down on him. Motherfucker don't, what? That's weirdo shit. His celly must have been on some gay shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But then the next day, I guess that dude
That's some freaky man shit.
Yeah, the next day the dude went to the COs to switch a cell, without saying what happened, because I guess he was so embarrassed. And then the dude that raped him ended up getting a razor and cutting him in the face.
Cutting who? The one that got raped got cut?
The one that got raped got cut by the dude that raped him.
He getting that $150s. They ain't getting down no motherfucker. He bogus as hell.
Yeah, man. It's stories like this that make me, happy I never went to prison.
Yeah, that's weirdo shit.
Now, you're from Northside, and that's OTE.
Yeah, for sure that.
What does OTE stand for?
On to the end.
Okay. So originally, when did you start rapping?
Shit, 2010 or some shit.
Okay, so right before
I've been fucking with as a kid, like trying that shit, but yeah, I say 2010, 2011, like around that time, right before I met Duck.
Okay. And originally, were you like an OTE rapper in a way?
Yeah, you just from the block, you feel me? Rapping and shit. You start taking the seeds, you make up your brand, whatever you gonna call yourself, whatever. But yeah, overall, I'm an OTE rapper. I'm always gonna be an OTE rapper.
Okay, but then once you met Duck, then you became FBG?
Yeah, making the movement big and shit,
Was there any sort of issue about you going from OTE to FBG?
I'm both, shit. FBG, that's some music shit. OTE, that's some family shit, you feel me?
Okay. So you're rolling with Duck, and then Duck starts to get hot. And I do a couple of interviews with him. And I remember my first interview that I did with him, he had already gotten shot. And I think his girl had stabbed him at one point. There was a lot of violence going on, like you said, all the shootings and everything else like that.
Yeah.
And in the interview, I'm pushing for him to move out of Chicago, and he's giving me all these reasons why he doesn't want to move. And Duck wasn't rich back then, but he had some money coming in and so forth. When you watched that interview, when you heard that conversation, what did you think?
He ain't live in Chicago then. He ain't gonna say it, you know what I'm saying? But he always in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? His family there. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that. Like, y'all be telling the motherfucker to move. Some people got more invested in Chicago than other people. So up and moving, and at the time, he paying all the bills for his family, you know what I'm saying? So him moving to fuck up a lot of people's financial situation. But when I saw the interview, I was, you know what I'm saying? I get what you were saying, though. Anybody will understand what you're saying. You got something going on, you know what I'm saying? You want to get out the area. That's logic.
Well, right, because after that, a little bit of time passes, and then Duck drops Slide, which is his first big record.
Globally,
how did you feel? Yeah. No, he had other records, but Slide was his first, big record.
Yeah.
And you're hanging out with him during that time. When you heard Slide for the first time, did you think it was a hit?
I was in jail.
Oh, okay.
So when I heard that people was running up to me like, damn, your brother going crazy. Your brother ain't never hit a song. So I'm in jail. People coming up to me. I called the crib. My OG tell me like, yeah, your brother going crazy right now. So they play the song over the, you feel me, radio. I'm over the phone, you feel me? I'm hearing this shit. Oh, that is that. So when I'm hearing how they going crazy for it in jail, I knew it was, you feel me, like bro on to something with this one. Then I got out. He going to shows every week for that 2 years straight. I couldn't go. I was on house arrest. So a lot of shit was going on. Bro was doing this shit. So.
Yeah, man, I was super happy for him. Because like I said, I started doing interviews with him before that happened. So to see someone that, you kind of catch early on and then you start seeing that success build, it's like, oh, okay, I'm happy, man. He's a
For
good
sure
dude.
that. For sure.
Now, did you have a relationship with FBG Brick?
Yeah, that's bro.
Well, after that song blows up, Brick ends up getting killed.
That's actually after. That song
Oh,
happened
after.
after. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I got the
That
timeline
came
wrong a
like
little bit.
2-3 months later.
Okay. How did you feel when Brick got killed?
Yeah, it fucked me up. I supposed to got up with him. So, when a person keeps telling you like, Link, get up with him, man, you feel me? Because the thing about that was, it hurt me about that. Last time I seen Brick was in jail. I didn't see bro. We FaceTiming every day. But outside of jail, I didn't see him because he was going back and forth with Yella to Las Vegas. So when that situation happened, it really blew me because he kept calling me like, pull up, pull up. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the trade or I'm here, I'm there. And I was so busy doing what I'm doing, you feel me? So I'm gonna get up with you, but you get caught up in your own shit that's going on. Like, so yeah, that fucked me up.
So you were supposed to be with him the day he got killed?
No, I'm saying for like 2 months, I mean, well, he was coming back. So me talking every day for like 2 months straight on the FaceTime and all that. When every time he came to the city, he was trying to get up. It's just I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm in my area or somewhere just doing what I'm doing in the suburbs, anywhere, just doing shit. He doing what he doing, so I never had time. We never got time to kick it and link. So when it happened, it fucked me up like, damn, bro been trying to get up with me and I couldn't make it happen. We couldn't make it happen. So it fucked with you. So the death hit different when a person keep on trying to, I'm here, I'm back in the city, come see me, meet me here, whatever. And then they pass, that fuck with you.
Well, yeah, that happened in 2017.
Yeah.
And I had never met Brick, but, like I said, I'd done 2 interviews with Duck, so I was sad when it happened. And I've done a lot of interviews with Chicago guys, and a lot of them would say that, Duck was out there, but Duck was famous at this point. He was high profile, but Brick was the gangster. He was really in the streets still. You think that's a fair assessment?
If that's how you want to portray it, like, everybody have their own opinion.
Yeah.
Because when people do that, like, it's like you trying to take something away from somebody that rap. You feel me? So.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's really taken away from them, but, one of them is just way more high profile than the other.
Yeah,
right?
you can put it like that. Somebody probably more active than the other, but I don't like when they be saying, oh, he a rapper. Like, he'll fuck you up too. He'll beat your ass too. Don't just think because he rapping, he just a rapper. That's what I mean by that. But if you, as in like more active and whatever case may be, yeah. Duck 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Then that 300 pounds, like, you can't miss, bro. So him being in the field doing whatever the field consists of, it don't make no sense. You gonna be seen. You can't miss, bro.
Yeah.
He the elephant in the room. Any room he walk in, he the elephant in the room. So.
Okay, so, and I remember I did an interview with Duck after Brick got killed, and yeah, man, it was sad. It was sad, but once again, Duck was determined to stay in Chicago and so forth. And Slide happens, and he's still doing music, but I think he left the music, the label at one point, and I think he was going to sign with Rap a Lot or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. And then he drops Dead Bitches.
Hard.
When you first heard that song, what'd you think?
This bitch go hard. That bitch go stupid. You know you fuck with it too. You nod your head because you know you like that song too.
No, I mean, it's a big song. I mean, he says a lot of shit. The video, the imagery of it, it was a perfect storm put together in a form of music.
Yeah.
I mean, you yourself, were you dissing your dead, the dead homies?
Yeah, I got my fair share.
Not the dead homies, but your enemies, dead homies and everything.
Yeah, I got my fair share of dissing back in the day.
Okay. Did you continue doing it the whole time, or did you stop at one
No,
point?
after I do my shit, I fell back off that shit.
Listen, there's always been dissing in hip hop. It
Yeah.
started from the 70s, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
people like Tupac will do shit like, yeah, that's why I fucked your bitch and so forth. But Chicago really started playing with the dead, I felt, first.
Yeah, we invented that shit.
You guys invented it. How do you personally feel about that now that you're a little bit older and can look back on it?
It's like shit. You want to disrespect somebody, that's the easiest way to kick something off. But it's like as you get older, it's like damn, like my area, we weren't really doing that shit at first. You feel me? That shit took a toll when motherfuckers got to getting disrespectful, and it's like you start thinking of what's the worst way I could hurt your feelings or make you mad because I don't like you. You feel me? You an enemy. You a op. First motherfucker be like, fuck your dead grandma who's kids. Fuck your grandma. Fuck your mama. Oh no, we gonna say fuck the dead person. Like when that shit kicked off, it had us like shit. Fuck it. That's how we coming. But then as you get older, it's like, yeah, we ain't even supposed to be playing with the dead. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. We roll with the punches. That's what it is. But as you get older, everybody grow up and be like, yeah, that shit wasn't about nothing. You shouldn't even, you know?
Well, yeah, then other regions started doing it. Jacksonville
Yeah.
started doing it, and people
Everybody
started filming
copied us.
videos and graveyards and all types of stuff. And
Yeah, they got the copying us.
yeah. Well, Dead Bitches comes out. And then a short time later, the situation happens with Duck in the Gold Coast. Now you said that Duck usually moves militant when he moves around. But I guess that was a situation where he had to go shopping for his son or something like that?
Yeah, nephew.
Nephew. Got it.
No, I'm saying nephew like his son, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. My bad. When you first heard the news, how'd you feel?
Shit, hopped in my car, made my way downtown. It wasn't like, I ain't had time to feel like shit. Like, I was in the house with my kids and my girl, you feel me? And motherfucker called me like, riddle, you feel me? And I ain't hung up, hopped in the car, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure, you feel me, see what's going on. Got to the hospital, like 100 people outside and shit, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he was taking an ambulance, but by the time he got there, he had passed away.
Yeah, he bled out, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that killed me when I heard it. It was a really, really sad day because I interviewed him twice, and man, I fucked with him. I fucked with the music. I fucked with him as a person. I mean, we never really got to hang out like that. I'm not going to say that, but there's a certain level of connection you make with someone when you sit down with them for 2 hours, and you get into their life and their stories and everything else like that. And I just felt like he always had that star potential, and you saw glimmers of it along the way, but he was still actively pursuing the music, and all it took is another 1 or 2 big songs, and it would have, he could have gone over the top. He could be the next Lil Durk or, whoever else, like on a real large scale basis. So when his life got cut short like that, it killed me, man. And then I ended up interviewing his mom, and that was like the first interview that she did. And she's crying throughout the interview and everything else like that. And it was just like a very sad moment.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
What made you interview OG?
There was something that happened on the news in Chicago where she was there talking about the situation. So she had already put herself in front of the camera. You see what I'm saying? And she was already speaking about it publicly. Now, this was on TV. It wasn't on an interview basis. So I just figured, well, if she's already putting herself out there and wants to, talk about it, and when you lose your son, I mean, I don't even know how to put my head around that. So we reached out. We said, listen, we saw you on TV. Did you want to sit down and do an interview? She said, yes, I do. So that's what started it.
So she could tell us our story, basically, right?
Exactly.
Now, that's the thing, though. Like, you say you fuck with Duck, right?
Yeah.
For the time you met him, the 2 few interviews, you did interview his mama.
Yeah.
Then I'll be trying to understand why you be doing interviews with people, and then it's like you always bring them up like in a weird way though. Like, oh yeah, I told her. Like how can I put it, man? Like it be weird as hell. Like I see you do something with Boosie or somebody, and then you just bring up Duck like, yeah, I told him to leave. Yeah, like and keep it like exploiting it or whatever for I feel like for content though. You got his OG, you feel me, still outside the store. You talked to him before he passed. After the OG, I feel like what's the point of keep, you feel me, bringing it up? Like,
Yeah. Well, I'll answer that for you. I think that's a fair question. Well, because look, when people pass, everyone who watches it is still alive.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like in life, you have to learn lessons. And you can't just look at things and say, well, that has nothing to do with me, because everything has something to do with you. And when it started with his mom, it was like there was a lot of people that were in the same situation as Duck. They're out there acting reckless, out in the street, carrying guns, shooting, everything else like that. And they don't think about how it affects their whole family. So I wanted to show his mom and say, look, when you pass, it's done. You don't have to worry about anything else. But this is what you leave behind. Your mom is going to be crying. And although she might not be on camera like on Vlad TV, she's going to be crying, and that's something that she's going to have to deal with every single day for the rest of her life. So before you go outside and do something, think about the repercussions of this. And let me show you the repercussions on video. And the same thing about me mentioning it. It's not really for clout, because I've never done a whole interview about that, but I'll mention it because ultimately you have direction of your own life. You look at, let's say, a Chief Keef. He got hot in Chicago. He knew that he had a bunch of beef and everything. He moved to California and never came back. He just did his first concert in Chicago 15 years later.
Yeah.
15 years later, he finally came back and did a big, arena show and everything else like that. You look at a Dirk. Dirk moved away. He moved to Atlanta. Yeah, he comes back every so often. And I just want to really hammer it home that people need to learn lessons from the dead, from people that pass away, people who, may have not made the best decision at the time because of ego, because of no one's going to tell me where I need to do. This is my city. I'm going to do whatever. But you take a step back and you're not a tree. You can move around. You can go anywhere in the world. I like the people I mentioned, I know lots of people that basically said, listen, this is too crazy for me. I'm going to go start my life somewhere else. And then you see it the other way. You see people like the Alpos of the world who go and kill a bunch of people, do a bunch of prison time, go to witness protection. Oh, but they want to come back to Harlem and they want to be the big man and they want to show off. And then they get killed in Harlem a couple months later. So my whole thing is there's so many people that DM me and say, hey, man, listen, watching an interview made me change my life. And I'm alive right now because of watching this interview or that interview. And I just think that's important. And if people want to get mad at me and people think I'm clout chasing or whatever else, that's fine. I could deal with that. But I just want to put out positive messages, because when you even watch my interviews, for example, if you watch my interview with Fulio, who just got killed, our first interview was hey, I know that you and Young and Ace had these problems and, people have gotten killed and so forth, but can you ultimately put it aside and work it out? And he was like, yeah, maybe we can. And then when I interviewed Young and Ace, same question. I know you and Fulio have had some problems, but can y'all work it out? Can y'all get on the phone and whatever? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? And there's been situations where conversations like that, when you put it out in the universe, people start to think and yeah, okay, let's just squash it. Let's go on and live. We got kids. You got kids. We don't have to be best friends, but we could go on with our lives and we could become old and everything else like that. Fulio never had kids. And I remember talking to him about that. You think your life is cool right now. Wait till you have kids. You'll really get to see how cool life is. And he never got to experience it. He was 26 years old. I went through after that murder and counted 19 people that I interviewed have been killed violently over the years. All of them black men. Most of them in their 20s, early 30s. That's not normal. That's not regular.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So with me, I'm trying to reach out to somebody that's watching it, and millions of people watch.
To change their life.
Yeah, to potentially change their lives. And like I said, every day I get a dozen emails of people that say, you know something, watching this has made me think of it a little bit different.
But to get what I was saying, like, you have to look at it like this. They can learn from what the situation that happened with Duck. Yeah, see what happens to my homie. He says, mama on that crying. You don't want your mama crying. It's like, you saying it ain't clout chasing or for content, whatever, but they can watch and learn from your previous interview with the mama or the situation that happened. It's like you throw it out there to a person just to see what their reaction gonna be, get their opinion on somewhere. Their opinion don't matter. Like, you gonna learn from something, you gonna learn from the situation and learn from the mother. Like, prime example, the Boosie shit. You ask Boosie about all this other shit in other cities. But then you ask him about what's going on in his city, you let him tell you, I don't comment on what's going on in my city. What the fuck you speaking on other people's shit for?
That's not true. That's not true. In fact, in our last interview, we got into a deep discussion about how in Baton Rouge, 95% of murders happen because of rap beef.
But did he speak on, I ain't see the last interview, so I'm talking about for the shit previous, I ain't see the last one. But any other interview, he literally, I know you know what I'm talking about, he told you, I don't want to speak on nothing at my city. Ask me about somebody else's city. Yeah. Come on, man, that's police as hell. Like, you gonna speak on something you have nothing to do with. You gonna get you know what I'm saying? You speak on beef you ain't involved in, that's police as hell.
I mean, I understand why, from your point of view, you would think that way. But, when I sit down with Boosie, we talk about everything that's happening in the rap world. And that just happens to be one of the topics.
Hey, look, people look at him like that's big bro Boosie or Uncle Boosie, whatever the case may be. He a street nigga, you feel me? Like, when y'all get doing that, it make motherfuckers look at him different, like, you weird as hell. You speaking on everybody else shit in a city you not from, you barely been to. I mean, I ain't gonna say barely been to. You don't come to for real unless you got a show. And speak on the street politics, that's weird, gang. That make it exploiting what's going on in our city. If me and you sit right here and talk about some NBA young boy shit, or talk about, what's his homie, his brother, Ivory, his best friend that passed, we talk about stuff like that, it'll look crazy as hell. I'm not from there. What the fuck is I'm speaking on that for? So when that shit happen, it look crazy as fuck. Like, what the fuck? Like, mind your business. You not from Chicago, so why is you speaking on Chicago politics? You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Everybody can voice their opinion. But it's like, what the fuck is your opinion matter if you're not from this city? If you're not going to do nothing to step in and stop it or try to, let me get him a deal to tell him to move out here, or let me tell them, y'all should stop that. I done went through this in my city. Let me try to show y'all a different way, or let me try to help you get a deal and move your family. But instead, I knew he was going to die when I heard that song. What the fuck type of shit is that? Motherfucker hear his song and say, like, that's crazy.
No, I respect your point of view, man. I understand, especially with you being so close to the situation. I could see, and I know what you're talking about. He said that the first time he heard dead bitches, he knew something bad was going to happen.
Yeah, that's like, you first, I fuck with the song. Yeah, like, come on, man, like, that shit, like, come on, man, that shit crazy, like. And then you not speaking on nothing you got going. I ain't saying speak on no police ass shit, but talk about the shit going on in your city. How you could better your city, or how you could stop whatever young boy or whoever he into it with going on. Like, that's your city, you feel me? Like, that should be crazy when people speak on street shit they ain't involved in, gang.
I mean, unfortunately, Chicago has kind of become the poster boy for this type of thing.
Yeah, everybody follow us. Everybody do what we do. I don't care what nobody say, no matter where you at. You know, I ain't gonna lie, except for like California, like West Coast, I ain't never really see too much of them doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to down south, like you say, Florida, New York, you know what I'm saying? I can't really say Atlanta, but Florida, New York, and all that Ukraine shit, like a lot of that shit, man, that should be copying us. You feel me? But it's cool because we influence a lot of people, but you feel me? Like, that shit just, you get what I'm saying, man.
No, man, listen, I respect your stance. Like I said, you're very close to the situation. You and Duck were close. You're absolutely entitled to feel that way. And like I said, I'm sorry if you're lost, man. And I know why you feel that way, and I respect it. Well, you said that the dead bitches had nothing to do with Duck getting killed.
Then, like, it's worse songs than dead bitches. You feel me? Like, people talking about it happened over a song, like, if you pay attention to the case, they saying it happened over a female. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit play a part in that shit. So, you can't really say what it's really over. Like, if you in the mix, you know what you know, and you not, just go off what the case say. Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, a couple months later, after Duck gets killed, King Von gets killed. Now, there's the rumor that Von put a $100,000 hit on Duck's head. Did you ever hear that? And, you know, Von is dead now, so we're not saying this isn't a police type question.
You hear, before Von started rapping, motherfuckers was talking about his money on people's heads and shit like that. Like, that ain't nothing new. Not saying it's true, but you feel me? I always say it's money on y'all head. Oh, they saying this, that person put that. Like, that shit ain't nothing new. I just saw on Instagram, they try to say some shit like that with Fulio, man. You never gonna know what's true. You saw somebody get 100,000 and say, this is for that. You can't say that shit. So, that shit just hearsay.
Did you know King Von at all?
No.
Okay. When he got killed,
hey, before you
totally
say that,
unrelated.
Before you say that, not to cut, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that rap or that's like got issues with each other, no cap, never saw each other, gang. There's a lot of people in the city that's probably ops or just don't fuck with each other. And Chicago's small, and they never saw each other, bro. And it may seem like we be tweaking when motherfuckers like, man, I never saw him, or people be saying people did this and did that, and they think a person lying, like, I don't know about that because I never saw that person. I can't say he did this or she did that. Like, I was around, I was over there, but I never saw that person, so I can't say that's true or false. Because it's literally like, you could be in the same vicinity of a person and never see them, bro. Yeah. You'll see everybody be like, yeah, I know him, I saw him. I was in jail with that person, but a lot of motherfuckers never saw each other, bro.
They've never seen each other, but they probably exchanged words on social media.
Yeah, but never saw each other in real life. Like, that should be funny.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Social media, if it wasn't ever around,
beef with someone to the point of killing someone, and you've never actually physically met them before.
Right. If social media wasn't around, you probably wouldn't even know this person.
Right.
It'll be all word of mouth. Oh yeah, we in tour with this person. Who? How you look? You gotta wait till you see him. I can't explain it. So like, that should be crazy.
Well, I mean, you could take it one step further. When you look at what's been happening in Chicago with the GDs and the BDs, a lot of people don't even know what it's over. And I've asked some of the OGs this question, and they kind of give me kind of fuzzy answers in a way.
I'm gonna tell you like this: when it comes to Chicago beef, damn near anywhere, majority of the time, it started off at school versus school shit, or just kids fighting, used to hang together, and it escalated, and then gunplay got involved. If it ain't that, it's over a bitch.
Yeah.
And a small percentage it'll be over some money in certain areas. That's probably out west or some shit like that. But, you know what I'm saying? Majority of that shit be kids shit fighting. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers doing they 1-2. Motherfuckers get tired of getting their ass whooped, or they tired of getting hit with bricks and shit. Now we elevated. Now it's time to bats and poles. They go from bats and poles to, you feel me, guns and bullets. You feel me? So a lot of that shit transpired for that. And then somewhere in there, you throw a bitch involved in it too. Somewhere in there, probably some money get involved, but majority, motherfuckers know what shit happened, why it's happening, or why it happened. It's just about, was you there at the beginning to tell the correct story of why they into it?
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, however it started, everyone else who gets involved 10, 20, 30 years later have no idea, probably never even met the people who started the situation.
Fact.
So now you're mad at this group of people who look like you, and you don't know why exactly, because you're being told that these are your enemies.
You got people sliding on behalf of a gang that they never met the person who the game is named after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you got shit like that going on, it's just like, this shit get wilder and wilder, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I hate to see it. And, and there's lots of people that I interview that are basically like, I don't got nothing to do with this gang shit anymore. That was me in my 20s, but if I meet someone, I got no problems with it.
You can't, though. Everybody not gonna respect that. You got some that's like, man, he with his kid, him alone, he ain't on that. But you got the ones that's like, man, fuck that. Remember he did this, or maybe he said that. It's always gonna be somebody that's like, fuck that. So you always gotta be on defense, or always gonna be on offense, or both. So when people be saying that I'm pushing peace, you could push peace, yeah. But you gotta always remember, somebody on the other side not pushing peace, and don't get no fuck who you pushing peace with. And that's just simple as that. So people gotta be mindful.
No, I get it. And for example, I just interviewed Michael Corleone Blanco. He's the youngest son of Griselda Blanco. And, you're talking about his mom killed hundreds of people. And we had a conversation, because, for example, his brothers were all major drug dealers as well. And I remember I asked him, I said, look, at one point, you guys are sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more. Why not just say, okay, we've had enough. We're going to move somewhere. We're done with the drug business. We're done with the murder business. We're just going to try to live out our life with our kids and get old. And he said, well, unfortunately, killing brings killing. So if you were somehow involved with a murder, that's never going to end. And, his brothers, two of his brothers were killed.
Ain't no killer without killer. And if you ain't had nothing to do with it, you always gonna be a target because what your family did. That's just how shit go. Or what your homie did. We can't get you, motherfucker, get your, you know what I'm saying, get your friend. Or there go a sister, smack her ass, make her come outside. It's ways to get a person to get back in the field or get back active when they saying they not on that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you gotta be mindful. It's always somebody that's not gonna respect pushing peace. Or you turning a new leaf in your life. So you always gonna have to be, you feel me, on point, unless you completely move somewhere in your family and disappear. You feel me? So if you can't do that and won't do that, you always have to look over your shoulder, even when you change your life.
Well, a couple months later after Duck gets killed, King Von gets killed in Atlanta. When you heard about that situation, what'd you think?
I ain't think about shit. It ain't bother me. I ain't care. I ain't care for the shit.
Yeah. Well, the situation happens with Duck. And for a long time, there was really no news about it. But then, the feds announced that the O Block 6 got arrested for that murder.
Yeah.
And then you start getting information about it. And like you said, it seemed like it was over a girl. It wasn't over the song. Because allegedly one of the dudes' girls was messing with Duck, and he called and lied about Duck running up on him with a gun or something like that. So they all got together, and then this whole thing happened.
Tender.
I'm sorry?
Tender dick. Pause. Tender
it's almost always over a girl, man. I feel like 90% of the time it's over a girl, but most dudes won't admit it because a lot of times it's not like their main girl or their wife or whatever else. And they feel stupid that their ex, they're crashing out over their ex, essentially.
Basically. And that same motherfucker you crashing out of gonna do the next dick when you locked up or when you did. So that shit tender, bro. Like, weirdo shit. That's diabolical, for real.
The guys that end up going to trial, the old Block 6, did you know any of them personally?
No.
Okay. When you found out that they all got arrested, what
No,
did you
actually, I was around. I think I bumped into one. I forgot dude name. I bumped into him before. I can't think of short name, but I bumped into him before.
think? So the old Block 6 are C Murder, Kenny Mac, Los, C-Thang, Muwop, and Teezy.
Yeah, him.
Teezy.
Yeah, motherfucker bumped into him before.
Okay.
One
That's
of my
actually the oldest one.
yeah,
He's
one of my
34.
peoples. I think it's like his cousin or some shit. And you know, you don't be knowing what certain motherfuckers from. You just, you feel me, like. But it wasn't shit though, like. But I had bumped into him and shit. It wasn't no. I didn't know the fuck he was until it was like weird, and you know, motherfucking atmosphere like what's torn, like that's my cousin type shit. And he ended up taking him, leaving, making him leave and shit, whatever. Well, he left, I guess, but I ain't know him though. But I ran into him before.
Well, the trial happens. How well do you know FBG Butter?
I know him. Let him tell I'm his cousin.
You're not his cousin.
He said we got the same cousin.
Okay. How did you feel about him taking the stand?
How I feel about anybody taking the stand. Shit. I don't respect that.
So you would never take the stand against somebody?
No. That ain't my MO. I ain't cut like that.
Have you ever had a situation where you were asked to take the stand, or they offered to drop some sort of charge in exchange for taking the stand or cooperating?
Nah, the motherfucker ain't gonna bring that to my attention. You know, I ain't that type of motherfucker. So, ain't nothing like that gonna get offered to me, brought to my attention, none of that.
Well, you knew Duck really well. How would
Yeah.
you think Duck would have felt over Butter taking the stand to essentially convict the people who killed him?
He ain't rocking with that.
So you're saying that if Duck could actually speak, he would tell Butter not to take the stand in his own trial,
Facts.
in his own murder trial. Huh.
Facts.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, cut like that, bro. Like, when you sign up for this shit, you sign up for this shit. Ain't no cuts and corners. You can't bend the rules, bro. Like, you just don't do that shit. You close your mouth. You feel me? What happens, you feel me? That ain't type shit like, we ain't moving like that. We ain't cut like that. We don't respect that type shit. That's the lowest of the low. Like, that's down now with that little other weird shit, bro. I ain't even finna, you feel me, say what I'm gonna say, but we don't do that.
Well, the other person who took the stand was Trench's News.
Swiper.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Do you know him personally?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. His ass
How
crazy.
do you know Trench's News?
He's be around us.
Okay. He claimed that him and Duck were roommates at one point.
Let me see. Do I remember that? He probably talking about that Boosie crib. He was always around that Boosie crib, so it's possible. Shit, he was around all the time.
How did you feel about Trench's News taking the stand?
That shit shocked me. I ain't gonna lie. They said some shit about him being a informant since like 2008 or some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, that shit, it threw me off. Like, he been around. When I came around, he was there. So when I heard and started seeing that shit, it threw me off. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it really, like, the fuck? Yeah, swipe ass crazy.
Well, I mean, I interviewed him and I talked to him about that, and he didn't deny. I mean, he talked about being an informant and so forth. I mean, he denied taking payments and so forth, which was contested in court, but it is what it is. But he basically said that, you know, these old block guys were terrorizing Chicago, they're robbing and killing innocent people, and he felt good about taking a stand and getting him off the street.
That's you feel me? That's him. You feel me? Like, I guess that's how he felt. Shit. I ain't gonna lie, that shit really threw me off for him. You know what I'm saying? When I found that out, like, I can't really like. He did what he did and he manned up to it. Like, ain't really nothing to really say about. You know what I'm saying? Trench. You know what I'm saying? With Swipe, whatever he called himself. Like,
Oh, so his other name is Swipe?
Yeah, Swipe.
Okay.
Like, he was around for a lot of shit, so like, that shit just threw me off. I ain't gonna lie, but he said he did what he did, and he's standing behind that shit. So like, whoever got a problem with that man, they gotta take that up with that man. Like, but he definitely was around. He was around for a lot of shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I interviewed him about his whole story, and he had been shot on 2 different occasions. And the way he explained it is the second time he got shot, the dudes that he was down with, you know, he expected them to kind of stand up for him or, you know, slide for him or whatever. And they were all like, nah, you're on your own. And he just felt at that point, fuck everybody. You know, when I get shot, no one's ever there for me. So fuck everybody at this point.
That's that man faith he living in. You feel me? Shit. Now he got his platform. He doing what he do.
Yeah. And, you know, he basically said, about taking the stand, he said, fuck him. Y'all need to be in jail.
He's standing on that, though. Like, ain't nothing more to say. Like, he's standing on it. What can you say to a person like that? That's what he doing. So, you see him, do what you gonna do to him. If you ain't gonna do nothing, ain't no point even voicing your opinion on it. That's what he on. You feel me? Like, Swipe ass crazy, man. But yeah, he know me. He been around. For sure.
If you ran into him, let's say today, would you be cool with him or would you be like, nah, I can't fuck with you over what you did?
I ain't got no problem with that, man. Shit. What's up? Shit. That's what he doing. What he on? Like, it won't be no reason, like, to kick it, whatever case may be, like, you know? I ain't no problem with him, though. That's what he doing. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, he know me, so I can't act like I don't know the man.
Yeah.
That'd be weird as hell, like, but as in, like, kicking it and all that shit, like, you know, like, I'm pretty sure if he see me, he'll say what's up and keep it moving, too. It ain't no beef or nothing like that, like, you know what I'm saying? We know each other. He did what he did. He ain't do shit to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people like to... Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do nothing to him, do nothing shit. Yeah. Fuck, I'm doing something to him for, like, make him tell on me? The fuck? Shit. He did what he did. He's standing on it, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you really think about it, I think the majority of guys in that life end up cooperating at some point, and a lot of times the cooperation doesn't come out.
What the hell you mean?
I think a lot of dudes cooperate, man. You know how many mafia guys I interviewed who all cooperated?
This the thing with the mafia, though. They work with the police off GP. A lot of people don't pay attention to that shit. When they do shit like pay the police to go do something to they opposite, you feel me, opposite shit, that's fucking with the police. You getting in bed with the police. So if they doing shit like that, you don't think they'll fucking tell? You gotta look at certain shit they do. They look at it as anything we gotta do to get the opposition. Like, they don't live by, I'm gonna say, what, black community street laws, you feel me? They got their own laws and politics, how they go about shit, but all of them don't deal with the police, but majority of the mob, they pay the police to go lock you up, all type of shit, like, so it's like you can't really use that, like, what they got going on, they go about shit way differently than the black culture do.
Yeah, but how many people...
But you're not finna say everybody and then cooperated. You funny as hell. That's basically saying you said everybody a rat.
I think when most human beings are facing life in prison, a lot of their morals start to change.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, but you can't say all people.
I'm not saying all. I think
You
the
just
majority.
said, you said everybody.
I said most. Most.
And what's your most? 70, 60%? What?
Yeah, 70%.
That's fucked up. Not saying you wrong, but not saying you right. That's fucked up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to human survival. You know, listen, I've interviewed so many people that are like, yeah, I was going to not say nothing and I was going to take life in prison. I was going to stand, you know, on all this. And these are black gangsters as well. And then they're like, oh, but then when I heard so-and-so said this or so-and-so threatened my family, then I cooperated against everybody. You know, Brian Glaze Gibbs was a murderer all through New York, killed all types of people, and then cooperated. And now he's out. It's not just the white world, man. It's everybody.
So you a fan of snitching? You a fan of snitching? You fuck with the snitching?
This is how I feel, okay? And Freeway Ricky Ross, I think, really made it clear for me. Freeway Ricky was one of the biggest drug dealers in America.
Facts.
Right? He was making literally hundreds of millions of dollars in the 80s.
Yeah.
His own plug turned on him and put him in prison. And at first, you know, he got life in prison. And at first he was angry. He couldn't believe this dude who he broke bread with and everyone became rich off of would do something like that to him. And then one day a light bulb went off and he realized that snitching comes with drug dealing. So instead of getting mad at it, he had to just accept it. And he was illiterate at the time. He learned how to read and he managed to essentially get out of his life sentence by figuring out the case. And I feel that if you're involved in crimes, whatever those crimes are, snitching is just going to come with it. And I've never really interviewed someone who was in that life that's never been snitched on. So you just have to accept that it's part of it. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? It doesn't matter. It's just the reality of that life. And when you go into like the corporate world, you know, the white collar crimes, everyone snitches on each other.
Yeah.
You know, look what's happening to Trump. How many snitches does Trump have to deal with? He got 100 snitches against him. He just got a felony. 34 felonies over snitches. His own lawyer snitched on him. So that's how I feel. I just feel like if you want to get in that world, just accept that you will get snitched on. You can get mad at it. You can accept it or not accept it. It will happen. Have you ever been snitched on?
Yeah.
There you go. You just proved my point.
But you still...
And let me ask you, before you go on, did a white guy or a black guy snitch on you?
Both.
There you go. You proved my point again.
But look, though, you still ain't answered my question. Is you a fan of snitching? Because, you know, they call you the police. Everybody call you the police.
Right.
They say you was an agent, all type of shit. You used to be an agent, all type of shit. So
I used to be an agent. Right. No, I've never been an agent. I'm
going on what they say. You the police, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never really take heed to that shit because you can't really say nobody the police unless they is the police. But you answer the question. If you answering the questions, that's the police ass question. You the police too. You answered it. You told on yourself. So it's like, but motherfuckers do say you the police. Like, they say you got a lot of motherfuckers locked up on your platform, gang. Like what's to that Keefe D shit, that Tupac shit?
Oh, the Keefe D shit is the only time I've ever heard of my interview being used in a court case. And you have to understand that before I interviewed Keefe D, he wrote a book about everything he did.
He said he killed Tupac in the book.
He said he was involved in the Tupac murder in the book.
So are they saying your interview?
The whole interview. Well, sorry, go ahead.
So are they saying after your interview got a bump? He been saying this shit for years, writing books and shit. Then they said,
well, the book happened. They sent me a copy of the book. I went through the book and I said, "Are you willing to talk about what you talked about in the book?" He said yes. I did the interview, and then he did about 6, 7, 8 more interviews with other platforms, and he did another one with my platform. And then eventually, all of this got on Las Vegas PD's radar, and they decided to prosecute. That's what happened. Outside of that situation, I've never heard of any of my interviews being used in anybody's cases.
What about AR-AB?
What about who?
AR-AB.
AR-AB. Ask AR-AB. He's done interviews. He said that my interviews had nothing to do with this case.
I'm about to look into that. I'm going to do my homework on that.
Look into it. Please do. Look into it. AR-AB said it himself. AR-AB had a snitch in his crew that testified against everybody. All the stuff that me and AR-AB talked about was in the past that had nothing to do with this case.
Okay.
It's true. I stand on that. Me and AR-AB are still cool. You would think if my interviews got AR-AB locked up, don't you think that AR-AB would be saying something?
Yeah.
Right?
I'll give you that. I'm gonna have to look into it though.
I get blamed for everything, and that's cool. I understand. But ultimately, it is what it is. I was really sad when AR-AB got what he got. Me and him were cool. And I was supporting him. And like I said, nothing I ever talked about. Same thing with Casanova 2 times. Oh, Vlad got Casanova locked up. Once again, my interview with Casanova had nothing to do with this case. He was texting and DMing people, and all of that got used in his case. All the stuff we talked about, once again, was in the past. He had already done his prison time over all those instances. But I don't know what a person does after our interview. If they decide to go do a bunch of crimes and get arrested for those crimes, I can't be held accountable for that. And I never talk about what a person's actually doing, actively while we're doing, at the time that we're doing the interviews. We always talk about past shit.
You might be on to something, man. I'm gonna do my homework when I'm gonna come back up here.
Please do. I'm putting it out publicly. You know what I mean? Look how confident. Listen to how confident I am right now, and I'm gonna put this out. I'm not cutting this part out of the interview.
I'm gonna do my homework again and check into this shit.
Yeah. But to answer your original question, am I a fan of snitching? Here's how I feel about this. I feel that if you and I are involved in a crime and I tell on you to try to make my sentence go away, then I think that's foul. But I'm not a fan of that.
It's a but. I know it's a but.
If I'm sitting at home and I get a call saying that I'm charged for something that you did that I had nothing to do with, I'm not going to do jail time over that shit. That's how I feel. If I have nothing to do with it, I am not going to go and sit in prison because of someone else's situation. If someone, like I had a home invasion happen, right? I was at a girl's house and a dude jumped in and attacked me and tried to kill me, and I ended up getting out of that situation.
Recently?
No, this was a long time ago. This was like 18 years ago or so.
So you was trying to get some pussy and a motherfucker beat your ass. You was thinking with your dickhead, pause.
That's not exactly what happened. I was fucking with a girl and her ex-boyfriend climbed up.
Thinking with your dickhead, pause, and got fucked up. In so many words.
He jumped in through the window and attacked me in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah, cat burglar.
I thought, yeah, basically.
You got your ass beat by a cat burglar.
Yeah, it was that's what I thought initially. And then I found out that the dude was like her ex-boyfriend or whatever, and he was mad that I was fucking with her. I ended up fucking him up so bad that I thought I killed him.
So you won? You won the fight?
Yeah.
So you got a little swabble in you?
Well, he was acting like he had a gun. So I thought I was gonna die. So I just blacked out. I just went into full-blown survival mode. I don't exactly even remember what happened, but I remember thinking that he was dead when I walked out of the room. And the police showed up and I told them what happened. I said, hey, this dude jumped into the window. I protected myself. I don't know what's happening right now, but this is what happened. The girl came out. She could, confirm the story with the police. Now, is that snitching? It could be to certain people. I guess I snitched to the police about the dude that attacked me, but I wasn't about to potentially catch a case somehow over some idiot that jumps in through a window. You see what I'm saying? If there was a serial killer, if there was a Jeffrey Dahmer next door, I would call the police and report him.
No, that's snitching, gang.
But it's all snitching according to certain people, right?
That's snitching, gang. Like, if you know a serial killer next door and he ain't fucking with you and you and your family, you just go ahead and get the fuck on. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Because then, look about this. You saw the damn TV show on Netflix. Yeah. Now, you tell they don't do shit. Who you think he next coming to kill and eat? Your ass. Mm-hmm. Just mind your business. Don't even tell nobody you moving. Don't even pack your shit. Just leave. Mind your business. That's all you gotta do. When you mind your business, you live longer, you be healthy, you gotta worry about nothing, you start getting more money, cause you ain't worried about what the next motherfucker got going on, especially a motherfucking serial killer. I ain't fucking with it. Mind my business.
Okay. Well, so let's just say that you mind your business and then he ends up eating your niece.
I knew that was coming.
You could have called the police and stopped it. You didn't want to get involved, and now your niece is dead and eaten by a motherfucker. And
because there's two ways you go about this. Either go, mind your business, get the fuck on. He ain't gonna get a chance to eat my niece. Because I got the fuck on.
You got on, but she's still in the area.
Ain't no way in hell if I know a serial killer next door, you think I'm gonna leave any of my family members or my homies around? Dude over there eating people, G. It's time to get the fuck on. Now, if they don't get the fuck on, nobody's gonna take matters to your own hands and get them out the way. But you think I'm gonna leave my peoples or anybody I care about? My motherfucking dog not even gonna stay. We getting up out of here. He over here eating them. He got motherfuckers' fingers in the crock pot. We finna get the fuck on. If you don't wanna leave, we gonna deal with it ourselves. If you don't like something going on, you deal with it yourself.
Yeah.
He a serial killer, gang. You gotta think about it. You doing justice.
If you want to risk your own freedom to try to take the law into your own hands, and morally you may be right, but in the eyes of the law, you could go to prison over something like that.
Say he tried to eat you.
I'm sorry?
He tried to eat me, so I killed his ass. You got proof. He got a whole elbow in the crock pot.
Right. But
open the crock pot. He got vegetables, carrots and shit with a whole elbow in the crock pot.
Well, the O Block 6 all get found guilty. I don't think they've been sentenced yet, but they're all facing mandatory life sentences. So here's your friend, FBG Duck, who got killed. And the dudes that did it are all going to go to prison for the rest of their lives. How did that make you feel when you heard it?
That ain't no jam justice. Like, the shit I live by, shit, you know? Yeah, what it is. So that don't move me. Like, it don't bother me. Like, they in jail for bro dead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I know that Duck's mom got some sort of relief.
Yeah, because she a civilian, gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His kids, you know what I'm saying? His baby mamas and all that shit, like, yeah, that's good for them. Like, you know, they don't live by the code we live by, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, they gonna be applaud that shit, you know? But that shit don't move me, bro. I lost bro, I can't get bro back. They still able to get on the phone, get visits, people go see them. Like, we can't do that shit with bro. So that shit don't move me, gang. I ain't one of them, oh yeah, I'm happy. That shit, hell no, I'm not happy about shit. Like, that shit don't do nothing for me.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. Like I said, I knew Duck a little bit, but not like you. So I know that the pain you're feeling, is a lot. And I'm sorry for your loss, man. I like Duck, and I'm sorry you're going through it.
For sure.
Well, you said that there was a money issue between FBG Duck and his manager, FBG Manny.
When I said that?
It was on No Jumper.
What'd I say?
You said that FBG Duck had branched out and started Big Clout Records, and you weren't going to join the label, but there was some sort of money issue or something like that? I mean, if you don't remember it, if it's not true, I'll cut it out.
No. I know that shit. I know, but Manny, manager, he had said something about some money shit with OG with Sheena or some shit, like he ain't get some money or some shit, but that shit, that label shit, deal, management shit, that shit was all fucked up, how I looked at it. So I never really paid that shit no mind. I talked to Manny about it, I talked to Duck about it, and it's really like a lot of miscommunication, a lot of people not understanding the contract and shit, I would say. So a lot of that shit could have been avoided if motherfuckers sat down and actually went over everything and talked. But a lot of shit going on, people ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't around. I had got out of jail, so a lot of shit was going on. When I did talk to both, I probably could have got them to sit down, whatever case may be, because Manny did tell me that, Manny did tell me that, like, holler at your brother, you feel me? But, you know what I'm saying? I got a chance to talk to him, but I ain't get a chance to have to sit down with them. So, it never got, you know what I'm saying? Because that could have changed a lot of shit, too. That could have, you feel me, prevented a lot of things, too. So, I wish I could have got that together.
I mean, you always see that, though. When someone dies, it's usually a mess afterwards. You know,
sure.
Everyone starts blaming other people, and there's a money grab, and, everyone starts to kind of point the fingers, and it's usually, I mean, I've seen it time and time again, so I'm sorry,
That's revolving door. It's going to keep happening. If a lot of things ain't in order before a person passes, it's going to be people talking about people stealing. This ain't paid for. This person did this, that person, I don't trust that person. They had something to do with this. Like, that's life, gang. Like, message to anybody that's going through shit like that, have your shit in order before anything can happen to you. You feel me? If you living the life you live or the life that's going on, at least have your shit in order for your people that you leave behind to be okay. And I ain't saying that's, you know what I'm saying, about Duck, but that's in general. That's a general statement I'm saying.
Yeah, but when you're young, you're not thinking you're leaving anytime soon. So what can you really do?
But you like, all right, well, Duck, he wasn't young, bro. What's your definition of young, bro? Yeah, young in life as in life, but like...
FBG Duck was 26 years old, man.
And it's a lot of motherfuckers who be having like policies and all type of shit.
Yeah. So,
everybody different, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
I got life policy on me. You feel me? For my kids, something happened to me. My OG taught me that shit early on, you feel me? So, you can't really say, just because a person that age, they don't know that shit. Like, you got some people doing shit like having policies and taking money out the policy to help them build motherfucking franchises and shit. So, if people know about that, you think you should know about a fucking policy to leave something for your people or at least your kids.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, most people don't think that way.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that way.
Yeah. But, congrats on actually doing that.
For sure.
That's big. That's big. And you said that FBG really isn't as close anymore, that Duck was kind of the glue that held it all together.
It's only 3 of us left.
So who? It's you,
Young and
Butta.
Dutchy. Why you keep saying that?
What do you mean? So you're saying Butter's not FBG anymore?
You done threw bro name out here a few times in my interview, gang. Like, all I know is just me, Young and Dutchy.
Okay.
You feel me? Cash gone, pass. Lil Jeff pass. Doug pass. Big in the extortion gang. Double O doing whatever Double O doing. You feel me? Like, and there ain't no diss towards nobody, towards Butta, whatever case, but this the thing. If Young started this shit, right? The name, whatever case may be. He saying you ain't it. And you saying they mad because I'm lit or whatever case may be. He the one that started this shit. Him, Dutchy and Duck, you feel me? You got 2 of the main people who started this shit saying, no, he not, He take it as hating. That ain't hating. Like, bro, like, That's like 50 Cent saying Young Buck ain't G Unit no more. Do you still see Young Buck saying he G Unit?
No.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Simple shit, bro.
Well, you had said that Famous Dex was more of a hype man than an original member.
In my eyes, yeah. Bro, I was the hype man. He the turn up king. Like, if Dex does, it's gonna be some turned up shit.
Yeah, I mean, we had tried to interview him a few times, and it seemed like he's still having issues, and it just would always fall apart. So, it is.
You know, some people got to get their life together. Like,
yeah,
fame do a lot of shit. Fame and money do a lot of shit to certain people that they got to take a step back and like really. First they say it was drugs, I guess, whatever. I don't know what situation, but I feel like he probably needs somebody around him that's to ground him, like get him back, you know? Some people need a reality
he's
check.
had real drug issues. I mean, you know, he's been in the rehab and everything else like that. You see him nodding off on live.
Shit like that. You need a reality check. You need somebody to ground him. Like,
yeah.
Like, I got my kids, bro. So they ground me every day. That's reality for me every day. You feel me? So he probably needs somebody around him that's, you know, I still got my OG or everybody OG ain't the same. Some, you know what I'm saying? I got my chick, whatever case may be, my girl, my kids, my OG. You feel me? And I got homies that's going, you know, you tweaking, bro. Like, get your shit together. You feel me? Respect yourself. You tripping. If you don't got people like that around to put you back in reality, it's like, you know? So he probably need that. He needs somebody to ground him, though. Hopefully he get the help he need, though, you know?
Well, you've spoken about Lil Jay before.
Okay.
How well do you know Lil Jay?
Folks cool for the time I know him.
When you hear about all the gay rumors and then you see the video of the dude sitting on his lap in jail. And listen, man, if you're gay, man. I'm not here to judge. If you want to live your life that way, that's cool. It's not me, but that's cool. But when you hear about all this stuff, what do you think?
That's that man prerogative, you know? That's what he into, you know? Like, I ain't got nothing, you know? Type shit. I can't, you know, like, to say to that shit, like, that's crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? What they be saying in New York, that's mad crazy, B. Like, I can't really, you know what I'm saying? What that man got going on, that's that man, you feel me? Like, man.
Yeah.
Blessings to that man.
Yeah.
Like, that situation, I guess he rolling with the punches.
Yeah, he rolling something.
You funny as hell, man. Oh, homie,
yeah, man, listen, people, you know, dudes is gay. I mean, it happens everywhere all over the world. You know, just because you're in Chicago or just because you live a certain type of lifestyle doesn't mean that may not be your preference. It is what it is. You know, he's always denied it, though, and I think that a lot of times that makes it worse, you know, as opposed to just saying, well, yeah, that's me. You caught me. This is what I like.
That's crazy.
Right, because I remember because he talked about how that video of the dude sitting on his lap isn't real, and that's not him. But then I remember I interviewed 1090 Jake. He said that is him because that's the way they even got that footage was based on a violation, so it is him. So,
like I said, man, what that man got going on, when he behind them doors and when he out in public, whatever, that's that man. I ain't got nothing to speak on with that shit, man.
Yeah.
That's that man, you feel me? I don't speak on no freaky man activity, man.
There you go. Well, I interviewed Trap Lord Ross, and you call Cap on a lot of the stuff he puts out. He said he's a hell of a detective. It doesn't mean it's all true.
Yeah, dude, that's weird. Don't be surprised somebody see him and smack the shit out of him. Because A lot of that shit, you gotta think about it. He putting shit together. He don't know if it's true or not. He talking about tweets, Instagram posts, Facebook posts. He got people calling him, telling him this, and that. You gonna get somebody hurt, gang. You still got motherfuckers, families out here. Imagine a motherfucker just got out of jail. Don't know shit about the internet for real. They been gone 10 years. They don't really pay attention. And they get on there, what the fuck is this? And watch something. Oh, that's who killed my nephew? And crash out, bro. And then come to find out that ain't even true. You gonna get a lot of people hurt. That's how DJ Academics got a lot of targets on people's backs for that shit. Putting shit together, giving people nicknames. That shit get people fucked up, bro. And they ain't even from the city. Like, he from motherfucking Ukraine or some shit. Like,
no, he's from England, UK.
Yeah, UK.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He never been to any of those blocks. He be, you know what I'm saying? That shit crazy.
I remember he was coming to LA and he was like, yo, should I hire security when I come to LA? I said, well, I mean, if you go to Compton or Inglewood or somewhere, maybe, but if you just on Rodeo Drive or in West LA, you're not going to have any problems, which I was right about. But, listen, what he does, he stands behind, the whole
rock with
King
it?
Von. It's not something I would do. It's not something, listen, I have 16 years of footage, on my YouTube channel. I just don't do that. I don't try to play detective and put stuff together and so forth. I give firsthand accounts, like a Keefe D. This is the actual person. This is the last person alive in the car that killed Tupac. If you want to give me a play-by-play, I will put it out. But I'm not going to sit there and put together my theories and so forth. I'll talk to people who are actually there. They'll give me their accounts, and I'll leave it at that. But I don't go through tweets and everything else like that. But that's
basically,
it's not my
you
thing.
with the whole, go ahead, tell it yourself. I'll post it for you.
Well, if you want to tell on yourself, I'm usually very careful. If it's an open case, I won't even ask about it. Now, if you did your prison time, you've earned your right to tell your story, right?
Yeah, you tell what the fuck you want to tell after you did your time for the shit. They can't do shit to you no more.
Exactly. And that's most of my interviews, is people that have done time and are telling the story about what they did that they gave up part of their lives for.
That's different.
That's 99% of my interviews.
That ain't snitching shit. He did his time for it. He could talk about this shit all day.
Exactly. But like I said earlier, outside of Keefe D, you can't find a single situation where someone said something on Vlad TV and then that was used in a case to then put them in prison.
I told you, I'm going to do my homework. And next time I come back up here, we're going to look into that. But
do your homework.
For the fact, though, you don't need no more. I got the Keefe D shit. They using that.
Okay. They are.
Just saying,
and he also wrote a book about it.
You should send folks some money, man.
I've paid him for those interviews. In fact, before he got locked up, he got
send him some money while he locked up right now.
Well, here's the interesting part about that question, right? And this just happened recently. When I interviewed Whack 100 about a month ago, I brought up Keefe D, and then he said, yeah. And at the time, Keefe D had a $750,000 bond that he couldn't pay himself. So Whack 100 in our interview said, yeah, I'm going to actually come up with $75,000 for that bond, and I'm going to, film some footage on him and maybe turn it into a documentary afterwards while he's out. I'm like, all right, cool. That's your business. So at the bond hearing, Whack 100 claimed that the money was a gift, but then they found that interview and they played it in court and said, well, here in this interview, they're saying that the bond is for this reason, so therefore we're going to, reject the bond.
Talking too much.
Is that my fault? Is that Whack's fault? Whose fault is it? Whack volunteered that information. When I call Whack, he wasn't mad at me.
It's answer the question when I said, when people call you the police and you ask the question and they still answer it, you can't call nobody the police because you asked the question. He fucked that up himself.
He volunteered that information. I didn't even know he was posting a bond. That was something he completely volunteered that came out of nowhere.
He didn't slap a shot his own ball head.
And he never said, he didn't say, oh, by the way, Vlad, don't put that out. He was cool with it all coming out.
For sure, that's on him.
And I didn't even know. I thought if you put up a bond, you could put up a bond. As long as it's legal money, I didn't know that a bond could get rejected for a certain reason. That's news to me.
They could do shit like that. Like I said, he fucked that up. So when he see this, he need to slap the shit out of his own bald head.
Listen, Wack is pretty good at taking responsibility for his actions and the actions of his artists. You know, when Blueface got locked up and I hit him up, I say, I'm sorry it's happening. He said, hey, man, repercussions to his own actions. I told him not to go to Vegas. He decided to go to Vegas. He gets locked up. What do you want me to do about it? You know, Krishan Rock, I told her not to go to court. You have an active warrant out. She's like, oh, that's in Oklahoma. You know, by the time I'm there, they're not going to come get me in Oklahoma. They went and got her in the courtroom, and now she's in jail.
Oh, she locked up right now?
What's that?
She locked up right now?
She's locked up right now, yeah.
Damn, free shorty. I ain't know that.
He told her not to do it. She has active warrants out. But at the end of the day, if a person wants to not listen to anyone and do what they're going to do, you know, shit happens.
I give you that. I give you that.
Yeah, man, but I stand behind my shit. You know, you can bring up all that stuff. You can go look it up after we're done. Please
I'm
do.
looking all that shit up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, look it all up, man. Listen to how confident I sound right now when I'm telling you this.
You could be a good-ass liar.
Maybe. So look it up on your own.
I'm doing my homework.
There you go. Well, look, man, FBG Bigga, man. Like I said, I'm sorry for your loss with Duck, with Brick, you know, the other FBG members that have lost their lives, you know, as well as other people that we probably haven't talked about. You know, just keep pushing out there. I'm glad that you're out here healthy, raising your kids, doing your thing, man. I wish you all the best.
For sure, man. Good for having me on this motherfucker, man. Oh, yeah. I give my boy Tito a shout out, man. Tito, he got me together on the cut, man. Real nigga shit. Y'all, yeah. Go fuck with my boy, man. Best barber in the city, man. But no, good looking for having me on this motherfucker. I fuck with your platform, guy. We're going to be back after I do my homework. We going to politic or something, you know?
All right.
For sure.
You can come talk your shit when you come back next time.
For sure that. OT, FBG, gang.
That's what it is. Peace.